Good morning, everyone. This is Narada Rishiraja with expeditiousfool.com, putting mindfulness in motion. And I'm here with your Lightworkers card pull, so let's see what we have for the day. Today we have the Seven of Swords. So this is a very different rendition of the Seven of Swords. Standard Seven of Swords has the guy where he has a whole bunch of swords in his arms and he's stealing them from an enemy encampment, right? Well, with this situation here, you can see all of the swords are in the ground and she's walking away. What this is telling me is this is jumping out that there might be a lot of conflict around us. Maybe right now, but even just in general in life, whenever conflict arises, right? A lot of times when we're being goaded into the conflict, right? People are expecting us to react a certain way. Most conflict can be avoided as long as we're completely balanced in here. As long as we internally are not craving the conflict, then most conflict can be avoided. This person even has bare feet. They're not worried about these swords. The swords are around them. They're continuing to walk on carefree, right? And they're heading in the direction of this moon. Sometimes the direction you have to head is in a direction of the unknown. A lot of times the reason why we'll stay in a situation that's agitating to us or a situation that causes conflict, whether it be a work situation, a relationship, and that's any type of relationship, you know, not just a romantic one, right? It can be a friendship, it can be carrying on relationships with family members, all of those fun things, right? So sometimes when we're walking through those situations, we stay in that dangerous footing, you know, walking on the eggshells, if you will, but we stay in that dangerous area because we're afraid to walk to this unknown, right? So we'll stay in a situation that doesn't serve us because we're afraid, because we don't see the new beginning, right? Whereas the way that the system's set up to test us and to work with us, etc., is that a lot of times it won't let us see that other side because we have to walk in faith knowing that that will be there. We have to walk in faith knowing that we're taken care of. It puts us in a rough situation that we have to leave without a promise. That way we can build and develop that trust and faith that we will need eventually for our soul's evolution. So that's what we have here. So when you see the conflict, you do not have to respond like normal folks. Most normal people, 90+% of the world's population, does not have a practice in order to regulate their nervous system and their emotions. Therefore, you can't really trust in it too much. So you've got to be able to detach and move on when you need to move on. When you see the situation is becoming toxic, that's a situation where you can just move forward. Don't have to see where you're going. Don't have to see the end game. You just have to know that where you're at right now does not feel that comfortable. And all suffering tells us is not that way. All right, everybody, I hope that this message helps. If you want to schedule a session with me, I do Tibetan sound healing and prana energy healing locally. I teach tarot, breathwork, meditation, and yoga virtually around the world. Of course, if you're in here, if you're local, we can do it in person as well. But if you want anything like that, don't hesitate to send me a message. I also have several workshops going on right now. I have a month-long breath program, Building the Breath. With that, I give you all of the tips, tools, tricks that you need to become your own breath guru and really develop on your spiritual path. And truthfully, everybody that's on a spiritual path and you still have anxiety, depression, etc., I can tell you why. You don't have a daily breathwork routine. And nobody's really been able to explain that to you as far as somebody that's dedicated their life to that study. And that's the reason why you still have those anxieties, those depressions. That is the cure. It's not a requirement for you to have that, especially as we become more awake. It's more of a requirement for you to do the work in order to process that, because you'll start to be aware of more things. We don't want negative effects from that, right? So the breath, that's one. That's what I start everybody off with. It's a month-long program, 4 sessions with me Each week, it's one session each week where we build and build on the previous, as well as your experience that you're going through, because I give you homework, and as you do this homework, you'll have experiences. The other couple that I have going on, I also have a 6-month yogic initiation program going on. That's for everybody who wants to learn basically how to be your own guru, and learn from my almost two decades of experience walking this path. And so I have that going on as well, and that is once a week for 6 months, so a lot of intimate time with yours truly. But in order to get you to understand yoga, what yoga truly is, how to incorporate it in your life deeply, and going into a lot of the deeper concepts of spirituality. So that's my 6-month program. And last but not least, I do have a short little, I say short, it's a few hours, but a Japa workshop program as well coming up. So if you want to get in on any of those, don't hesitate to send me a message and give you more information, fill you in from there. Have a great day on purpose and stay mindful, everyone. Namaskaram.